You woke up this morning feeling great. That was a lie. By lunchtime, something happened. A fog rolled in. Your brain slowed down. Simple tasks started feeling weirdly hard. You reread the same sentence 4 times. That wasn't laziness. That was your brain actively being attacked by a chemical it produces itself. And depending on how tired you are right now, you might be further down this list than you think. These are the 7 levels of being tired. Find yourself. Before we get into the levels, you need to meet the molecule behind all of this. Its name is adenosine. Every second you're awake, your brain produces adenosine as a byproduct of burning energy. It builds up, and up, and up. And the more it builds, the more your brain receives one very clear signal. Sleep now, please. Caffeine, by the way, doesn't remove adenosine. It just sits in the adenosine receptor and blocks the signal. The adenosine is still building. You're just not hearing the alarm, which is why when the caffeine wears off, it hits all at once. That's the crash. Now you know why. Level 1. The yawn. This is where most of you start your afternoon. Adenosine has been building since you woke up. Your brain starts to notice. The first signal it sends? A yawn. Here's the weird thing about yawning. Scientists still aren't completely sure why we do it. One theory, it cools the brain down like a tiny ventilation system to help it stay alert a little longer. Your body is literally trying to air condition your brain to keep you awake. At level 1, you're fine. A glass of water, a short walk, you're back. But if you ignored that yawn, you just entered level 2, the fog. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that handles logic, focus, and decision making, starts to slow down. Reaction times drop. You start making small errors you wouldn't normally make. You might reach for your phone without meaning to. Open a tab and forget why. Read a sentence and retain absolutely nothing. Your brain hasn't broken. It's just quietly deprioritizing tasks that feel non-urgent. The fog is your brain rationing its resources, and you probably think you're fine. That's level 2's most dangerous trick. It affects your judgment without you noticing your judgment is affected. Level 3. The wall. You know that 2 to 3 p.m. crash that hits like a truck even when you slept fine? That's not just tiredness. That's your body clock colliding with your adenosine buildup at exactly the wrong moment. Your core body temperature dips slightly in the early afternoon, a leftover signal from when humans used to nap after lunch. Your brain interprets this as sleep time. Combined with the adenosine that's been building all morning, you hit the wall. Here's the fix that actually works, by the way. A 20-minute nap. Not 30, not 45. 20 minutes gets you into light sleep and you wake up refreshed. 30 plus minutes pushes you into deep sleep and you wake up feeling worse than before. That groggy, disoriented feeling after a long nap has a name: sleep inertia. Your brain punishes you for oversleeping during the day. Level 4. The zombie. This is where it starts getting genuinely weird. Your brain begins doing something called local sleep. Parts of your brain, particularly the frontal cortex, start taking micronaps while you're still awake. You're technically conscious, but roughly 20% of your brain has gone offline without telling you. This is when microsleeps happen. A microsleep lasts between 1 and 30 seconds. You don't experience it, you don't remember it, you simply skip forward in time. If you've ever been driving and suddenly wondered how you got to this bit of road, that was a microsleep. Level 4 is when tiredness becomes genuinely dangerous. Level 5, the meltdown. You know the feeling. Something small goes wrong and you react like it's the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone. The Wi-Fi cuts out. A colleague asks a perfectly reasonable question. Someone breathes near you. That's not you being unreasonable. That's your amygdala, your brain's emotional alarm system, becoming 60% more reactive when you're sleep deprived. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, which normally puts a leash on the amygdala, has slowed down so much it can barely respond. So your emotional reactions fire at full volume with no filter and no brakes. Overtired arguments are real. Overtired decisions are dangerous. Neither your feelings nor your logic can be trusted at level 5. Level 6, the blackout. At 24 hours without sleep, something remarkable and alarming happens. Your cognitive performance is now equivalent to having a blood alcohol level of 0.10%. That's above the legal drink drive limit. But here's what makes level 6 truly strange. At this point, local sleep is no longer just occasional. Large portions of your brain are cycling in and out of sleep independently of each other. You might hold a conversation and remember none of it, complete a task and have no memory of doing it. Your brain is essentially running on emergency backup power. And the truly terrifying part of level 6, you feel like you're handling it. Sleep deprivation specifically impairs your ability to recognize how impaired you are. Level 7, the shutdown. This is where it stops being funny. At 36 to 48 hours without sleep, the brain begins doing something it normally reserves for fever level emergencies. It hallucinates, not vivid cinematic hallucinations, more like brief visual glitches, shadows moving, patterns where there are none, sounds that don't exist. Your brain, starved of the processing time it gets during sleep, starts confusing memory fragments with incoming sensory data. Short-term memory begins to fail, time perception distorts, the ability to regulate body temperature drops, and here is perhaps the most unsettling thing about level 7. In recorded cases of extreme sleep deprivation, rats died, not from any disease, not from any injury, just from not sleeping. Your brain does not treat sleep as optional. It is maintenance, it is repair, it is survival. So, where are you right now? Level 1, the yawn, and you've got time to fix it. Level 2 or 3, drink some water, take a walk, earn that nap. Level 4 or 5, please, genuinely, do not drive anywhere. Level 6 or 7, you probably shouldn't be watching YouTube. The science of tiredness is genuinely one of the most underestimated things happening in your body right now. Your brain isn't being dramatic when it says it needs sleep. It's running critical maintenance that cannot happen while you're awake. Adenosine wins in the end. Every time. You can delay it with caffeine, cold water, and spite, but eventually, you sleep.